Welcome to the channel where I make recordings of my board games and you can see them in action. I focus primarily on recently published war games and solitaire play. Feel free to leave comments or ask questions, and all corrections are welcome, so if you see me make a mistake in the rules, don't be shy, go ahead and call it out. Politely, if you would please. And now, on to today's game. And some more Atlantic Chase. That's right. World War II. Germany in the white versus England in the browns and the tans and whatnot. And how we win is we score victory points by getting convoys safely into port and to sink the enemy ships. And what makes this game so interesting is that it's all hidden movement. Like, this is a convoy, these are warships, but we don't know which hex they're in, so we have to narrow the searches and then try to bring them to battle. So, in this scenario, the Arctic scenarios, you win by completing, well, the game ends in solo mode when you complete 3 convoys. And I've completed 2. And where's, oh, the last one, it's all the way over here. And it is not anywhere near complete. Okay, so that is the recap. We're going to try to get this last convoy in and hopefully avoid these Germans here. And from last time, I managed to seize the initiative back. First thing we'll do is check the weather. The weather will remain good. And now, we're going to go for the obvious, and I think we're just going to extend this trajectory all the way from there to England. So, there we go. And notice me ducking him. So I'm going to make him spin it. Put an extra trajectory there. Yeah, one more. Yeah, eat that. Okay, what should we do? Before I actually try to shrink this convoy, I think I'm going to go ahead and extend my other task force up here, my warships up here, down to here, just in case something funny happens. We can kind of coordinate and all that stuff. So like this. Like so, and you can see I am ghosting this German task force. And now, finally, I think I'm just going to pass and start inching my way towards England. So pass to come off for a very slow convoy. And now England, or Germany, is back in the driver's seat. And we will check the weather. And the weather becomes bad. Okay, interesting. What did the Germans do? We're rolling on this 2 column here, if you've been following along. And this is the solo bot, for anyone who's just kind of wondering what's going on. Here we go. And it's a 3, and this, I believe that is going to... Oh, airstrike, huh? But I think that's going to end up being... what you call it? Interception. Let's take a look. No, my mistake. It's bad weather, so... the Germans are going to do a stealth action. Stealth recon, that is. And you have to roll a dice and see what they do. 3, I think that would have been that anyway. And we're going to place a new U-boat force. And we roll a die for that. 6. Okay. Right where it needs to be, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay. I think this happened before. But right there, U-boats in the water. Okay. And that'll automatically generate intel on the convoy. Now, a fairly important vie for initiative roll comes up. And double 6s. Unfortunately, the Germans will retain the initiative. What will they do? One more time on the dice. This is a 6. This is a completion action. Interesting. So this unidentified task force is going to attempt to get back to Narvik. It's closer than it could have gone down to here in France, but this is closer. So we'll see what that looks like. And it can't complete, so it's just going to pass. And it's going to use bad weather. Because it's in the Arctic. Well, it's bad weather anyway, so it would have been the same thing in any case. So, 5. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it passes to us. Okay. And we roll for the weather. And the weather goes back to good. Alright. And I am going to pass. Not a very interesting game here in the end here. I am going to be within completion range the next time, but I'm going to go ahead and pass. Take off 2 there. Oh, I can't. I got to get that intel marker off somehow. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. Alright, let me put these in the right place. And we move on back to the Germans. And check for weather. Stays good. And what will the Germans do? Alright. 4. And that is an interception, so they're gonna go back and try to get the convoy this time. And that will look like this. And they're gonna naval search. I think I pressed the wrong button there. Sorry about that. And yeah, this is gonna be a big one. They got a huge trajectory here, so let's take a look. Now, because I have an aircraft carrier here, I can launch from here and support against this naval search here for a -1. So we go to our naval search box. We are all the way at that end column, and the Germans are going to roll on that at a -1. It's going to be a 5, and a 5 is going to be a straight up miss. Okay, get rid of the eyelash. Okay. Okay, 2 rules I missed, and one I was not even aware of. I forgot to roll for my interrupt because he has an intel marker, and if you roll a miss and the task force has a the active task force has an intel marker, initiative changes hands. Woof. And what's more, in the way I read the rules, initiative changes hands immediately, meaning no time lapse for the Germans there. So they really stunk that one up. Okay, and it's back to us. I am unfortunately under the oppression of an intel marker. I got a U-boat there as well. My basic action is to pass again. And whoop, whoop, getting closer, but we still have that awful intel marker making trouble for. Oh, wait a minute now. Can I? No, I'm not in range. Yep, intel for very slow. That I can only remove 1, so I'm out. All right, so back to the Germans. I should have rolled the weather for that. It was still good when he did it. Now the Germans are turn, and they roll 6. The weather goes bad, and now let's find out what they do. All right, 1. All right, our airstrike. This is gonna be interesting. Okay, roll on this table here. 2. Signals action. Hold on. Signal action is gonna look like this. And he actually may have done us a favor in the sense that took the intel marker off, and he's gonna have a tough time getting in there. I think I'm more or less to have escaped. Depending on what, unless he gets a U-boat thing, I get a chance to seize the initiative. Oh, yeah, he doesn't time lapse. He has nothing to time lapse. It has to be someone in the target hex. And so I attempt to seize the initiative. I could really use a really good roll right here, 9 or better. No, not even close. Okay. So we're gonna find out what he does again. A 4, and I believe that is an interception. Okay, well, he has no choice. He must go into this range here and try to bring that marker to battle. All right, hang on. It will look like this. Now there are 2 intel markers on Germany's trajectory. So I'm going to roll on this 2 column for my interruption. That is a 10 on the 2. Initiative change. And as before, initiative changes immediately and cancels his actions. He was going to try to bring me into an engage action, but that is canceled, and he does not get to time lapse once again. And so the initiative changes back to me. We're going to check the weather. It goes to good. Okay. Now, clearly what I need to do is this. 1, 2, and 3. Unfortunately, I get an intel marker here because of the U-boat. Like so. And I bet you just can't guess what I'm gonna do now. And I think you know. And that is to use the intel limit to pass and to remove that so that next time I can get in there. Alright. So, alright, it goes back to Germany. And Germany will check for the weather. The weather remains good. And now we see what they do. A 5 is our old pal, the interception. Wow. He doesn't have a chance. He does not have a chance. Wow. That's terrible. Well, let's see how it plays out. And as you might know, 15 is the limit that a trajectory can be. And this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Whew. He really has no choice but to pass. And he will use the Arctic time lapse to shorten his trajectory. And he rolls a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he can't remove the intel marker on either end, so we're just going to remove what you can. I do believe that is the rule. If you disagree, let me know, but I think that is the rule for that, and that is him passing to me. I roll for the weather. It remains good, and now there's only one thing left to do, and that is to attempt to complete, which means the Germans will attempt to seize an initiative. They have to roll a 9 or better to keep this game going. And they roll an 8. They fail. This convoy completes, and that will conclude the scenario. Let's take a look at what the score was. Here we are at the score. I completed 3 convoys, like I was supposed to do. They're worth 3 points each, as long as I didn't disperse them, which I didn't disperse any of them. That is worth 9 to the British. However, I got hit for 4 hits, which is -6. Brings me down to 3. And there was no German sunk. There was no British battleships or any kind of ships sunk. So we didn't lose any points for that. We didn't bring the reinforcement group in. So there's no point loss for that. So our final tally is 3. If we go to the score sheet, score of 1 to 3. Patience. British Foreign Office is instructed once more to plead for Stalin's patience as the convoys trickle in. A British ship was sunk? No, it wasn't. Or 3 or more hits scored on the convoys? It was. Churchill reminds Stalin of British sacrifice. Okay, well, that's gonna do it for them. That seemed a little, that might have seemed a little boring because it's just convoys. That was all convoys. There was no battles in this whatsoever. But, I mean, you gotta remember, this is a 1942 scenario. This is when Germany's surface fleet is almost a non-entity. I mean, it comes down to U-boats. I mean, I think the U-boats were actually... I have to look that up. I don't know much about the U-boat war post, around this time period. I'm gonna have to pull out my... where's my Clive Blair book here and try to read a little more of that and see what was going on with that. But if anybody knows, go ahead and put it in the comment there. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that, and thanks for watching.